2, 1. Welcome back. This is the Grinning Goat card review for Boomsday, and we are looking at the Lightforge podcast. No, we are on the Lightforge podcast, and we're looking at the Lightforge tier list. I'm going to give you all the tier list numbers before they come out, or after they come out, if you're listening to this on YouTube or a podcast. These numbers will be out Monday morning at some time on the lightforge.com, and then you can look for yourself. We're going to put them out a full day before the expansion comes out this time, which is nice because it meant we got it done. We're usually like scrambling on like the last like night to like get things done, so it means we're less scrambly, which is good. And it also means you get the scores a day earlier, so you can internalize them or analyze them or tell us we're wrong or whatever. So that's what's happening. And yeah, I'm Adwicta.
This is Merps, as I stated a minute ago before you rambled. Let's look at buckets.
We are on the last segment of neutral cards. We've gone through all of the ones in the first 5 buckets, and now we are on the buckets that have a offering penalty to them. I haven't figured out exactly what, although we probably could because Blizzard gave us all the information when they publicized their like blog post. But it's quite significant, the offering penalties on these. So you're not going to see them as much in the arena, which is kind of a shame because some of these cards are quite good.
All right, let's start it off. We talked about this card if you saw the very first segment. And this is the best card within the 6 bucket from the expansion. It is Mechanical Whelp, 6 mana for a 2/2 mech. Death Rattle summon a 7/7 Mechanical Dragon. It's just got a lot of stats. And yeah, it's not the fastest card, but you are getting a ton of stats and a ton of value from this card. And once again, when we do this video, we will identify which cards are over bucketed, which are properly bucketed, and which are under bucketed, so you know where you can extract value and which cards to avoid. Mechanical Whelp is a card that should be much higher than the 6 bucket. So this is a card that you really should consider taking.
Yep. It's also 2 mech bodies, which is really good because, you know, you have all these magnetic cards that are really good that you can pick, and then you can buff this. And especially some of these cards scale with the size of the minion. Like if you have, for example, something like a other super underbucketed card, a Skater Bot. You can take the Skater Bot, you can put it on the Mechanical Whelp, and boom, you have a 7/7 immediately, and you have dealt 3 damage on the same turn for 7 mana. That's pretty good. Or you can wait, and the Mechanical Whelp dies, and you have a Mechanical Dragon, and then you can make an 8/8 that has Rush on that turn. Like, you could do stuff, right? It scales pretty well. It also prevents you against board clear. Good card.
Yep. So no matter what, I think, you know, a lot of people can disagree with exactly how good this card is, but I think we can universally agree that it should not be in the 6 bucket. Yeah. You know, whether you think it's a first bucket card or second or third or whatever,
even, right? Like, it's not 6.
It should not be 6. Exactly. Okay.
And
talk about the next one?
Yes, Ratsma in chat, Shadow Madness.
Well, at least we don't have Potion Madness anymore.
You'll at least have to pay 4 mana for a 7/7 body.
Right.
Okay, Microtech Controller, the next card. This is a card that, like, I was pretty surprised about when I saw it. I saw it was 117 that the algorithm gave out, and then I looked deeper into it, and then I looked deeper into it, and then I looked at, like, Razorfen Hunter, and I looked at Tide Hunter, and I looked at cards that are very similar, and you know what? A 3 mana 2/1 that summons 2 1/1s for 3 mana? It's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's actually super good on curve, and you'll see this kind of, like, pattern forming, right? We're replicating Menace, which is the 4 mana 3/1 that has a Death Rattle, like triple 1/1 microbots, is also really highly rated by us. Eggnapper is really highly rated by us. These Death Rattle or Battle Cry 1/1s, they do work.
Yeah, they do. This is a card. Look, it's not sexy, and if you look at it in terms of, well, look, 1/1s don't do a lot, but for 3 mana, just getting 3 bodies is pretty good. And yes, there are such things as pings. You know, people fear hero powers, but once again, that's a tempo loss for them, right? Like if you use a hero power to kill off the 2/1, you've essentially, you know, like your net is 1 mana on your side for double 1/1s. That's really good. That's why Alley-Cat was good. That's why you know, like Mecharoo and Argent Squire are like good, right? So this is a card in which we're not saying it's a world beater here, but for the 6 bucket, it's a very good card, and you should consider taking this because we think it's under bucketed.
Yeah. So if you look at Razorfen Hunter or you look at like Tide Hunter, they're like under 100, but then you look at this and it's 117. It's because its stats work really freaking well. And you know, we'll stick by that. This is one of the highest rated cards in this bucket. Although it's usually offered with the top part of its bucket, which has a lot of higher, even better cards. Like Keening Banshee went down a bucket, so now it's in the 6 bucket.
Oh gosh.
But hey, the thing is, when you actually move things into the 6 bucket, you reduce the offering rate so much. They're actually going to see it much less often.
People are right. The 6 bucket is just going to be like this, the alternative 2nd bucket.
The 6 bucket is going to be where you get your value if you know what's going on with the game, right? And where you lose the value if you don't. Like Emperor Cobra's here, Wasp is here. Oh my god, Wasp is in the 6 bucket? That's got to be a mistake, right? I thought Wasp wasn't that bad. Like maybe we made that mistake.
Oh, maybe. Hopefully not. Wow, that would be insane. Anyways, let's just go on. I'm not sure about that.
Okay. Next one is a Bulldozer. 9 mana, 9/7 Divine Shield.
Yep.
Mech.
Look, it's a mech. It's a big minion. We've seen Force Tank Max, if you guys remember from GVG, right? That was 8 mana for a 7/7 Divine Shield mech. Here, you increase the cost, you give it 2 stats on the offensive side, which is fair. It's a fine card. It's not a like it's with the Skater Bot at 10 mana, that's pretty good. But once again, we're talking about the 6 bucket here. So we don't have to have world beaters. We just have to have cards that are good compared to the competition, and Bulldozer is one of those. So Bulldozer, if you need a big guy, if you need some value, because a lot of cards in this bucket are not great. So definitely consider Bulldozer here.
Yep. Spark Engine next. This is now like kind of normal for this bucket. It's a 2 mana, 2/1 mech. Battlecry, add a 1/1 Spark with Rush to your hand. So 1/1 Spark with Rush is decent. You're getting a crappy body out of this, but you're kind of getting like almost half a card back.
Yeah, essentially. I think that's fair. Not much to write home about. Anyways, Bronze Gatekeeper, 3 mana, 1/5 mech with Magnetic and Taunt. Man, Silverback Patriarch looks worse and worse every single expansion. But this is fair, you know. We think that 6 bucket, you know, this is definitely okay. You can just play it on turn 3 and it's like meh. The magnetic portion kind of helps, but we think this is just fairly valued for the bucket.
Yep, sounds good. Crystallizer is a 1 mana, 1/3, where it belongs in the bucket. It has a battlecry, deal 5 damage to your hero, gain 5 armor, which means you can't play it if you have 5 health or less, but other than that, it doesn't mean much.
Right.
You have some classes that can use the armor, but, you know, very marginal.
Right, or with Warlock in which you damage yourself. So
that's true too.
Yeah, so Crystallizer is a little bit better there, but
it's not a mech. Fair. I'm just not interested.
That's your new rule?
Mm-hmm.
What about the old rule of seeing Ultra Sword take an Ultra Sword? Is that still in play?
Oh, of course, especially because you're going to see him so much rarer now.
Oh, you got to take him.
Yeah.
Next card is the Spark Drill, 6 mana, 5/1 mech with Rush. Death Rattle, add 2 1/1 Sparks with Rush to your hand. We think this is appropriately bucketed. It's not a great card, but it's it's something in which you will take sometimes because 6 bucket, and that's sort of the level of cards we're dealing with here.
Yeah, you know what they changed it to, right? These are all like spare parts and stuff, and now they're all like 1/1s or 1/1s with Rush or 1/1s on the board. Like they're killing RNG. Like it's great. This is wonderful. All right. now we're getting to the cards that are like pretty bad, even for the 6 bucket. Rusty Recycler is a 5 mana 2/6 taunt with lifesteal. This is not going to steal a lot of life for you because it only has 2 attack. 2/6 taunt is very, very bad. But its only redemption is that it is a mech. So you have to buff it. So if you got the magnetic cards, totally draftable card. If you don't have the magnetic cards, leave this one in the recycler.
Oh wow. That was good. How long did it take you to write that one?
I came up with it on the spot.
Wow. Skill.
Natural talent right here.
So good. Okay. So next we have the Damaged Stegotron, which is a taunt 6 mana for a 5/12 mech PogChamp. It has taunt and battle cry. Unfortunately, deal 6 damage to this minion. So when you play it from your hand, it is a 6 mana for a 5/6 taunt. Understated. Not.
It's like what do you call it? Lord of the Arena, right? Flipped.
Yeah, it's a flip Lord of the Arena. You can heal it, right? If you can cheat it out of your hand, that's good. If you Corpse Razor it, that's good. But other than that, it
went up a bucket from Blizzard from Lord of the Arena by, I guess 5/6 is better than 6/5,
right? And
it's a mech.
Anyways, this is a card in which we think it's fine for the 6 bucket, right? You're gonna take it, do things for you, but it's definitely on the low side of even the 6 bucket.
I think we have a problem with it. Because we have Lord of the Arena up higher.
Oh, do we? Oh, shoot.
Oh, I'm gonna go dig into that one.
All right, you dig into that.
Right now, I'm just typing this message. Why is Lord of the Arena higher than Damaged Stegotron?
Excellent. All right. Next up, love the name. Don't like the card. It is Explodinator. Explodinator is a 4 mana 3/2 mech battlecry summon 2/02 Goblin Bombs. If you guys do not know what Goblin Bombs are, I think we should talk about those right now. Goblin Bomb is a 1 mana 0/2 mech that has Death Rattle, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. And we can just jump forward a little bit. Goblin Bomb is in the 7th bucket. We have it ranked extremely low, but yeah.
Because it sucks. It's actually literally our lowest rated card. I did not know that. It is our lowest rated card that is a neutral in this entire game.
But so here's the thing, right? Like, and this is also a theme in Hearthstone. Goblin Bomb, the card, is rated really low. But it is not as bad when you just get it with others, like within another card, right? Because remember, there is a cost of having something be a card. So if Goblin Bomb is taking up one of your card slots, it is beyond terrible because it is taking up one of your card slots. When you get it with other stuff, it might not be as bad. Now, having said that, Explodinator is bad. Explodinator is really bad because you just don't get the stats necessary, right? So even for the 6 bucket, it is just not great because 4 mana, you expect a lot more than 3/2. Yeah, you're going to deal some face damage there with the Goblin Bombs, and people might have to proactively remove it. But yeah, on average, it's just really bad.
Got an answer. Input error for the Damaged Stegotron. It's actually not that bad. It's a 97, so it belongs in this bucket.
So it's appropriately
appropriately bucketed.
Okay, that's good.
Input error. We did not give a taunt in the algorithm.
Oh, that's why.
Yep, and not giving this guy taunt really affected its score.
Well, yeah, that would make a huge difference. Okay, all right. So it's just appropriately bucketed now.
Yes.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
This is why we do these card reviews, so we catch our own mistakes. When I'm looking at this, I'm like, this isn't that bad, I think.
Yeah.
Live bug fixes, right? Exactly. Like, live score updates too. You guys have seen this. If you saw these scores in the very first video we made earlier today, the scores are not the same as they are now. It's like a living thing that's happening right now as we clean things up.
Oh, wow. So good. All right. Anyways, should I just take the rest? Should I just blow through all of the rest?
I'll do Holomancer. Holomancer is a 5-mana 3/3 epic. You're not going to see it a lot, and it's going to suck, and you're not going to take it, and your opponent's not going to take it, because it doesn't even look like it's good. Its text is, after your opponent plays a minion, summon a 1/1 copy of it. So, your opponent's going to kill the 3/3, and you would have paid 5 mana without summoning anything.
Basically.
I don't know what this is for. I don't know if this is like for a specific counter to a type of constructed deck or whatever, but it has no place in the arena. I don't know why it's not in the last bucket. This seems like a very obvious belongs in the last bucket card.
Yeah, and okay, so the cards that we're going through now, starting from Holomancer, these are cards that you do not pick them.
Yeah.
Like 6 bucket.
I mean, you wouldn't want to pick them. They're not like tricky. Or like, oh, I think this may be good. No.
Yeah.
No one thinks this is good.
Next card is
Galvanizer. Okay, this one's a little tricky. I can see people who think this card is good.
Wait, what? People think this card is good?
I can see people who think this card is good. It's a mech synergy. We've been talking mechs up. It's a mech itself.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. But man, you're giving up a 1/1's worth of stats, right? Which I think some people are just like, oh, that's okay-ish. But the amount of mechs in your hand, not gonna be it's not gonna be that much.
Maybe 2,
maybe 1. Yeah, maybe 2. Oh my gosh, you're pretty lucky. Or you like drafted a lot of mechs and you got a little bit lucky, right? To have 2 mechs in your hand, and this thing is just really, really freaking small. Like it's hard for you to capitalize on you losing out on that +1/+1, and it's the worst stat distribution, right? The 1/2. It's like every single 2-drop will dominate.
To be fair, there's a lot of 1/1s now, and this expansion's adding more.
True, you are going to have lots of 1/1s, but just as a 2-drop, it's like, man, the 1/2 stat line is not good.
Keep in mind we have it rated a 39, so that means that if not for the Goblin Bomb, this would have been the worst card in the arena.
I mean, like, it's real. Once again, look, specific scores are like kind of not necessary anymore, right? It's just like, you can look at a card and you can just be like, does it belong here? Or is it a card that you really should not take? And it's like, dude, we don't have to debate this. I think everyone can just see this is a crappy card.
Yep.
That's basically it. And then we reach Brainstormer, which is in the 6 bucket. But yes, once again, really, really should not be in this bucket. 3 mana for a 3/1 Battlecry. Gain +1 health for each spell in your hand.
You have no spells anymore. It's 12.0.
If you have 2 spells in your hand, it is a crappy 3-drop. Only when you have
I don't get it. What kind of combos does Blizzard think is happening in the arenas that these are not last bucket?
I don't know. I have no idea. Anyways, we don't have to pontificate on that. This is a terrible, terrible, terrible card. Never take it. Okay. That's it.
All right. So now we're gonna go to the final bucket. These are reduced to maybe 30% their original offering rates or something like that. Like this is the 7th bucket. You do not see these. There are way too many cards in this bucket. You don't get offered them a lot. But you're looking at this bucket, right? Atris Veteran tops the bucket. That's a good card. Tainted Zealot is getting better and better with all these small spells coming up. Elven Archer, we've always had as a pretty highly rated card. Like these are things. And adding to the thing is another thing. It's a 7 mana 7/7 epic. It has an irrelevant battle cry. But another golem. The battle cry, by the way, is if you control 3 minions with 7/7 health, which includes this. So just 2 other minions that happen to have 7 health deal 7 damage to all enemies, which is pretty good. But you're never gonna pull this off.
When you do pull it off, oh my gosh, it is epic levels, right?
It has 3 points on this over War Golem, even though you're never going to pull it off. Because if you do pull it off, it is so good.
It is so freaking good, right? So yeah, with Starliner, this thing will, if you play enough Arena, your run will end because of a Starliner at some point. It just will. But it's also sort of like, if you look at the requirements on this, I'm not saying like your opponent will win anyways whenever they have 2 other minions with 7 health, but they're probably in a decent spot if they got to keep 2 minions with 7 health, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those in which, like, yes, this condition, if it procs, is really good, but on average, you were probably not in a great position anyways, right?
Yep.
And then this is like very much so overkill.
Yup. Next one is Faithful Lumi. It is a 1-mana 1/1 mech. It has a battle cry that gives a friendly mech +1/+1. It sucks.
Aww. It tries, man.
I mean, look, why couldn't they make it a 2/1? Even a 1/2? Like, this is not... I don't know what people think is going to happen with this.
Well,
but...
it's because it's a mech itself as well. You know, there's a lot of stuff going. It's just not big enough.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's just not big enough, right? So that's fine.
Like,
I mean,
but to be serious, like, it's a 73 rated in the 7th bucket. You're gonna take it sometimes. There's a lot worse cards in this bucket.
Oh, by the way, so right, the cards that the 2 cards that we talked about, Starliner and Faithful Lumi, they are perfectly fine in the 7th bucket.
Well, especially like Starliner. Like, that's like in the top half of this giant bucket.
Yeah. Starliner is a good-ish pick there. Faithful Lumi is an average pick in the 7th bucket.
All right. You want to do Unpowered Mauler? Pretty interesting card.
Unpowered Mauler, 2 mana for a 2/4 mech, can only attack if you cast a spell this turn. First of all, I love the flavor of it, but it's appropriately bucketed. And once again, we run into the issue. They just reduce spells.
Yeah.
They just reduce spells. It is an overstated body, but how many times are you going to be able to power this thing up, right? And it's not like you're paying 2 mana for like a 3/4. It's just a 2/4, so you're getting a little bit extra, but the cost is very heavy.
Yeah. It's below a Magma Rager. All these cards from here on out are below Magma Ragers. That's really all you need to know about these cards.
But Magma Rager is the best card.
Next card, Whirly Glider, 2/1, Battle Cry, summon an O2 Goblin Bomb. You know what Goblin Bombs are. They're the O2 things that deal 2 damage on Death Rattle. Not good. I don't know. Probably meant for constructed Goblin Bomb decks. And of course, we're back to Goblin Bomb. So this is how combo heavy this expansion is. We got 3 of the lowest rated cards in neutral that exist in the game. It is Goblin Bomb, Brainstormer, and Galvanizer. And for some reason, 2 of them are not even in the 7th bucket. But whatever. Let's move on from that. I don't think there's anything really we want to like emphasize here, except Mechanical Whelp, Microtech Controller, Bulldozer. Take those. See them?
Yeah.
Take them. The other ones, you know, see what your deck does.
Yeah, exactly. And are we doing the legendaries?
Yep, we're gonna roll right on for the legendaries. Legendary offering rates are like up a little bit, like I think incidentally with the 12.0 changes. They're actually gonna see these a little bit more often, which is interesting. I think that they were fine before, but you know, it's fine. Here's Ziliax. This score is going to get updated mostly because it takes like 2 hours to calculate the score, because you'll see why. But this was an earlier calculation, and we did some changes to magnetic, and we're just like, screw it, we're not gonna spend 2 hours calculating, like letting it run. So it's gonna go a little higher, I think, but it's in the first bucket. It's correctly bucketed, definitely. It's a 5 mana 3/2 mech that is magnetic, divine shield, taunt, lifesteal, and rush.
Pretty good.
And keep in mind, divine shield makes rush, taunt, lifesteal, and magnetic all better.
Yeah. This is just a good card. Even if you don't pair it up with anything, it's still good. So yeah, this is just a card in which you will happily take, and it is appropriately bucketed within the first bucket.
And now you get to talk about the 3 crappy cards that are also appropriately bucketed in the last bucket.
Yeah, okay. So this is the last bucket for legendary cards. As you guys know, there's only 3 buckets for legendaries within the arena.
So this is trash.
First is Mechathune. It's really just a 10 mana 10/10 mech. I'm not going to talk about the Death Rattle. Yep. Harbinger Celestia, which is a 4-mana 5/6 stealth, and you're wondering, wow, those are really good stats. After your opponent plays a minion, become a copy of it. Wow.
So it's a non-secret secret for 1 more mana. But if your opponent doesn't have an appropriate minion to play,
only has big stuff.
Yeah, or only has big stuff. You do get a like if they only have big stuff, you kind of, this is just mirror entity, right? But if they have they can't dodge a turn. They can't cast a spell and wait to draw something, right? Otherwise you get a slightly oversized minion for a turn. Because it'll still trigger whenever they find their small stuff. Terrible.
Yeah. But on average, yes, it is really bad. Especially in the arena in which people will have the small drops, right? Because anyways. Subject 9, 5-mana 4/4 beast, battlecry, draw 5 different secrets from your deck.
Let's see what this is in a secret deck. So in Hunter, it is a 93, which is actually towards the top of this bucket.
Right.
And in Mage, it is a 80, which is not towards the top of the bucket.
Right. Once again, it is just coming from the fact that secrets in general are not that great. You have good secrets for the class, some of the top secrets, like Freezing Trap for a Hunter is really good. But
it just got moved down a bucket, so it's way more draftable now.
Yeah, but once again, you're not getting that much draw. It seems like a lot of draw, but you're not getting that much draw, even if you do draw, which you won't always draw. So once again, just not great. Fine for this bucket because it's the last bucket. So you're not going to extract a lot of value from it. But this is one of those cards in which you might get the option to take it, and you look at your draft. It's dude, I have a perfect Subject 9 deck. That might happen. On average, won't happen. But for your specific deck, sure, maybe.
And that is it for this one. We've gone through all the neutrals. As you can see, there's a lot of very usable, very interesting cards, but none of them do anything totally game-changing, right? This is okay, Arcane Dynamo aside. Missile Launcher is also weird enough to maybe qualify for that, and Giggling Inventor, really, and probably Weaponized Pinata. But the other ones that make up the backbone of this neutral set are all very well-designed, nice, playable cards, and with very little RNG. So you have this problematic top end that will dictate a lot of how Arena is going to work, and then you have this much nicer lower end where you're going to get a lot of your meat and potatoes in the arena, and these are very meaty and potato-y kinds of cards, and that's good for the arena, especially because they just did 12.0, patch 12.0, which reduced all the spell offering rates, so they want a more meat and potato-y kind of meta. They're gonna get it.
Yep. All right. Done with neutrals. We did it.
We did it. We're gonna go on to class cards next, where we'll talk about how good the class is, how good each card in the class is, and talk about the class. We're gonna start alphabetically, go from Druid, and then Warrior, and then we're gonna talk about a class tier list of sorts.
My gosh.
We've been not talking about class tier lists for the longest time because it just didn't make sense at some point because we didn't have offering rates and it was all about experience in the meta. And HS Replay is better for the experience part because they have a ton of data. But now we're back at it. We have offering rates, so we can start making some predictions. So that'll be exciting. Anyway, huge shout out to everybody who's been helping us. All of our mods here, our video team who will be uploading this into YouTube. Myself, who will be uploading this into podcast. Merps, who will be writing a nice little article on Reddit. Look for that tomorrow. And our Lightforge tier list algorithming team, who has been hard at work updating this. Literally, as we're presenting, everything's getting updated in the back end for some final cards. I think right now, Luna Star Galaxy or whatever is the one being worked on right now, and it will be done by the time we get to Mage. There's a few stragglers right now, but that's where we're at. So huge shout out to the Lightforge team as well, and all of you watching. Definitely show us some love, tell some people about us, link our YouTube, our stream, or whatever, and we will see you guys in the next segment when start with Druid. Until then,
See
this
you
is
guys.
Oddwickta.
This is Merps.
All right.
You gonna go poop?
I'm gonna go.